Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of Mocktail Minutes. This is Baylee. I am doing a solo episode this week. Brianna's out sick, so we're making do. We always adapt, we adjust, and we're going to talk about can protein cause weight gain today. Now, well, I guess before we get started, my mocktail that I'm doing this week is Pure Electrolytes. I am doing the lemonade flavor. I really like them. Josh was not a fan, so we had tried the Ultima Peak lemonade. Big fan of that one. Tastes like I think it's the Country Time lemonade. So we tried this one. It was like the yellow lemonade. I think it tastes more like a sweet lemon head rather than a lemonade. I really like it, so I'm a fan. Pure lemonade flavor. That's a good one for me. So let's jump into the topic of the day. I'm trying to keep this one short, sweet, to the point, but basically, can protein cause weight gain? Typical answer that we like to give, it depends. Because as you may have picked up, again, nutrition isn't black and white. There is not one specific thing that will make you gain or lose weight. It's a multiple things that can come together to give you these results. So when working on weight loss, because I took this question directly from a client I was working with, she was very hesitant to increase her protein. She's like, well, I've been told all this time I need to decrease. Decrease. Why the heck are you telling me to increase? Won't the scale just go up? So first, when you are working on weight loss, I do encourage you to use other data with the scale, like measurements or an in-body scan. So, I guess I don't necessarily encourage you to use the scale. I personally don't even have a scale. But I know so many of you have been used to using this as a measurement. So if you are someone who you're able to just use this as data, okay. If you're someone who has an emotional tie to the scale where it's like, depending on what that number says is going to depend on how I feel, depend on my day, depend on what I eat, then maybe we need a break from it. But use other information to let you know, okay, where are we at in this progress? Use those measurements because it can tell us a different story. Like maybe the scale isn't moving too much, but you've lost 3 inches. Great. That can mean, okay, we're losing fat, we're building and maintaining muscle. Or like the in-body scan will give you insight to your muscle mass. Like, are we building muscle? Are we gaining fat? Are we losing fat? Are we losing muscle? Because we also don't want you to be losing muscle. Muscle is magic, basically. And when working on weight loss, especially with a low-calorie diet, we can see a 20% decline in that muscle mass. So while great, the weight has gone down on the scale, so has our muscle. And our muscle, like I said, it's magic. It's kind of like our golden ticket to a long, healthy life. So we want to keep it on. Now the RDA, so RDA stands for Recommended Dietary Allowances. And this is basically the levels of intake essential nutrients that, on a basis of a scientific knowledge, they are judged by the Food and Nutrition Board to be able to adequately meet the known nutrient needs of practically all healthy persons. I believe it's like 97%. So this is the amount that they're saying, hey, if you get this, you're not going to become deficient. So the RDA for protein is 0.8 grams per kilogram. Now 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. So this is what is sufficient to meet your needs, prevent deficiency. I, however, recommend about 0.8 grams per pound to be more optimal to prevent age-related muscle mass, to build that muscle, to increase your metabolism, to fat burn, because you're increasing that muscle, which is going to increase your metabolism, which increases the rate at which we burn calories or use energy in our body. And protein has a higher thermic effect of food than other macronutrients like your carbs and fat. With that being said, it is estimated protein's TEF, the thermic effect of food, is 20 to 30%. Carbs are like 5 to 10% and fat 0 to 3%. So this is what is estimated to be burned while metabolizing these foods, or basically the amount of calories your body uses just to digest it. So what that means, kind of to break it down a little bit further, a thermic effect of 30% of protein would mean that like if you were to consume 100 calories of protein, it ends up being only 70 usable calories. Every time I say calories too, I think we all kind of assume calories and just like associate it with weight loss. But think of calories instead as just a measure of energy. It's energy. That's basically what it is. We're getting energy from food. We're also expelling this energy. So you need to be including protein in your diet to support this lean muscle mass. And to take it to the next level, you need to strength train. With this, when this comes up with my clients, this is usually a later thing. I'm not coming in on the first or even like the fourth session, maybe. Be like, okay, let's start strength training. Like we're doing all these things. No. But when we start strength training, the question comes up about like post-workout nutrition because we hear all about it. If you're listening to this, the average person, general public, most of the people I work with, timing of this protein is not important. I am more concerned about, are you eating enough throughout the day? And you're going to see results with that. You don't necessarily need to time it around your workouts. Other things for weight loss. Protein promotes satiety, controls hunger, and so it's going to prevent overeating as well. Weight is regulated by your brain, and more specifically, your hypothalamus. Your hypothalamus is a structure that's like deep inside your brain. It's like the size of an almond, I believe. And it's kind of like your control center. It likes to keep your body stable, which is called homeostasis. Your body doesn't like change. It likes to kind of keep things going. So it's going to help manage like your body temperature, your blood pressure, your hunger, your thirst, your sex drive, your mood, and even your sleep. It's trying to keep the body happy. And it does this by influencing your autonomic nervous system or managing your hormones. So a higher protein intake actually increases your levels of satiety hormones like GLP-1, peptide YY, cholecystokinin, while reducing your levels of your hunger hormone, ghrelin. So it's increasing these hormones that are telling you, hey, stop eating, you're full, and it's decreasing the hormone that is saying, hey, you're hungry, go eat more. Now, if you were to replace some carbs and fat in your diet with protein, you may experience less hunger and feel greater satiety because maybe you're overdoing it in one of these areas. We just need to adjust what you're doing. And I work on this a lot with my clients in a metabolism makeover. You kind of learn how to adjust your meals so it's not driven by like carbs or not driven by fat. Maybe we do just need to increase that protein. Or sometimes I see we need to increase protein and increase fiber. Like those are the main things that I see we often are lacking. So by modifying this, you will be regulating your hormones. Protein may reduce that hunger and help you feel fuller for longer, meaning you may end up eating fewer calories, not randomly snacking all day. And also maybe this may be more food than you are used to eating. But now you're getting nutrients or you're able to fuel your body with what it needs to function, but also to optimize how your body systems are performing. Really all this to say that protein can actually make you feel more satisfied than you would be eating the same amount of calories from carbs and fat. Calories aren't equal, and we have to look beyond this. And I'm not saying to just go eat protein all day. We need all three of these. But I think we need a little bit more protein than what a lot of us are consuming right now. We don't realize how much we do need, or like, oh yeah, we're getting that. I'm eating 2 eggs every morning. 2 eggs is only about 12 grams of protein. I'm talking we need like at least 30 grams per meal. For me personally, I aim for like 110 grams of protein for the day. And I break that out into meals and then I do a snack. So you need more than 2 eggs for breakfast. You need more than like 3 slices of turkey. You need more than 2 chicken tenders probably. So I do sometimes have people that will kind of track protein just to kind of create that awareness and see where am I at right now. And that's when people are like, oh crap, I am eating less than what I thought. So then we get strategic and figure out, okay, how are we going to increase this protein? Especially if we're working on weight loss, like this is going to help decrease that risk of weight regain because you're building the muscle and you're preventing that metabolic rate from dropping, which happens if we lose weight too quickly, our metabolism drops. And a lot of this is due to our muscle mass dropping because our muscle mass is really active tissue. If we're not eating enough, our body's going to break that down because it wants to survive. It doesn't care about your nice looking bicep or building your butt. It cares about keeping you alive. So including this out throughout the day. And like I said, I do about 110 grams per day. I don't do like 10 grams at breakfast and like try and cram it all in at lunch and dinner type of thing. It really does help to spread protein out throughout the day. Number one, because it is super satiating, so you won't feel great trying to get like 100 grams at a meal. Number two, you want to have those satiety benefits all throughout the day. So spread it out kind of evenly throughout the day. It's okay if it's not like completely even, but like don't do 0 and then like 50 and then like 20. Like spread it out. And eat all kinds of protein, even red meat. Honestly, added sugars are probably more inflammatory than red meat. So eat the chicken, turkey, lean beef, pork, salmon, eggs. Yes, eat the eggs. Dairy. Dairy is great to include, especially if you can tolerate it. So milk, cheese, yogurt. And then thinking about like whole fat versus fat-free. Honestly, either works. And I get more into this with my clients. But basically, like if you're doing a fat-free and you eat some fat at that meal, you just add to it, like throw in some chia seeds, throw in some like walnuts or something. If you're doing a whole fat dairy product, you might not need to add as much fat to that meal or snack. Other things that will have protein is going to be like your beans, chickpeas, lentils. Those I kind of classify more as a starchy carb, but they're going to add to that protein. You can also use protein powder. When looking at these, I do like to use a quality protein powder, especially if we're going to use it quite often. I use protein powder almost every day because I do smoothies. So Drink Wholesome is my go-to. Just Ingredients is another great one. Designer Egg, Naked Nutrition, Vital Proteins, Be Well by Kelly, Perfect Supplements, and Shaklee. Those are all great brands to check out. They have different flavors. Some of them are egg-based, some of them are whey-based. I would either do like an egg or a whey-based protein. Those are kind of my go-to recommendations. So really, at the end of the day, there are several things with protein, and simply increasing this doesn't necessarily mean you're going to gain weight. We can overdo it on anything and see kind of like a quote-unquote negative impact. We like to find everyone's sweet spot. And I mean, other things that can cause weight gain: puberty, menopause, genetic factors, poor sleep, stress, inflammation, gut imbalances, access to healthy foods, certain medication, hormonal imbalances. So it all basically could all add up. There can be a triad of different things. And like we always say, that's the nice and also the annoying part of nutrition or the body in general. It's usually not just one thing. If you're bloated, it's not like I can be like, okay, if you're bloated, do this. There could be several reasons you're bloated. Maybe you're just not eating enough fiber. Maybe you're skipping meals. Maybe you're gaining weight because you're not eating enough. Maybe you're gaining weight because your minerals are off. So now your thyroid isn't functioning. Maybe your adrenal glands are like burnt out and you got a lot of inflammation going on. So many reasons can come up for weight gain. So we have to explore all the different things. It's not going to be one thing. And you don't necessarily have to be afraid to increase protein while you were working on weight loss. Protein is really super important. It's that golden ticket. It's going to build that muscle mass. Definitely included. Like I said, about 0.8 grams per pound. If you are on a weight loss journey, I do adjust this a little bit for more of like an ideal body weight, but just going to be an idea about 0.8 grams per pound. Hope this short, sweet episode was helpful for you. And if you have any other topics you would like us to cover, if you have any questions that you would like us to expand on, feel free to DM either Brianna or I, and we will definitely make sure we do an episode on it. Otherwise, we will talk to you guys next week. Bye.